with this. Go ahead, Roberto. You start with this.
Okay. Good afternoon, Professor. So this will be our video presentation for our project. The title we came up with is New Home Numbers. Our group members are Bikram, Melissa, and myself. What we're able to come up with, going into detail with the title, is a mortgage calculator. Bikram, please go to slide 2, please. Now, our mortgage calculator, of course, is going to have to do with real estate and buying houses. The motivation behind it was mainly seeing off of life and current events, such as so many people moving into Houston from all over the country, the amount of homes being built by developers, and just an overall feel of what each of us sees in our personal lives from living, moving around, and just over our news. And it hit me a little bit more personal since speaking with coworkers, how they're going through the process of buying homes from new family members moving to the city, then themselves looking it over. And just the amount of information that they were bombarded with and had to go through just to be able to get somewhat idea of what their budget is, of what they can afford, the areas, which we all know is a big thing when it comes to real estate. And we thought, hey, why not? This is something that we all face. So let's go ahead and do it. And that was some motivation for us to choosing that. So slide 3, please. So for our personas and user cases, again, taking into account our personal and real life event situations that we ourselves are dealing with others, we came up with a young couple that just got married, mid 20s, and are first time home buyers. Again, this is something that's just a big step since some financial plans or 15 to 30-year mortgage, it's not something you're going to take very lightly. So, this situation, a young couple is faced with buying a new home, their dream home that they wish to go ahead and just buy and not have to buy another one. And being bombarded with so much info, not having experience with it, a app that's simple, easy to understand, and just in their hands is what we strive for to provide for this couple and this type of person in general, whether it be a couple, a young person that's just buying their own home as a single living, or anybody else moving in just themselves instead of a family. Along with that, the business side, we included a landlord, experienced landlord. This person would be the type that has a portfolio of multiple homes already under his belt, renters, marketing himself, fixes up everything himself, asks for permits by the county, looking at what needs to be a fixer upper, what's something that he can already go ahead and just put up for rent. Again, this is so many different hats for one person. Why make it harder for him with having to crunch numbers and see what is within his budget and what isn't when he already has so much on his plate? And being able to provide an app that they can go ahead and just use each time they find something online, in person, or by word of mouth is what we can go ahead and provide for them with our app. And for a more business savvy person that's heavily into it, would be a freelance real estate agent. This is an individual that's not with a big real estate firm, but somebody that has personal clients that go to them to be able to feel more comfortable, more face to face, and not feel that they may be getting the short end of the stick when it comes to buying a home. And again, similar to the experienced landlord, this person's going to wear a lot of hats. And not just that, but they have the responsibility to provide everything in person as simple as possible. And what better way to do that than with an app similar to ours? This can go ahead and allow them to present the numbers right then and there for their client in person. and go through a list of multiple homes that they found that fits their description of a dream home. So these are the user cases we're able to come up with and are the main ones that we came to our minds to begin with. But later on, we plan to expand. So now I'll hand it off to slide number 4, Bikram.
Okay. The prototype and user interface. So basically, our idea was to create a really simplistic, so that any individual plus mortgage companies like real estate agents, they can use to help out their clients, or even an individual person looking at their mortgages calculators, and they can calculate everything uh, with a button of click. They can see their monthly payment and everything, as you can see in the slides. Our mission was to basically create simple to use app, focus on generating key numbers, monthly payment, total payment, and total interest that will show them, which will be really handy to any individual, seeing if how many months they have, and then how much payments they gonna have for every month. This app is pretty much, it's a single screen for user simplicity with a clear, like everything is there to for anybody to just understand and then find the details and then search. So talking about the layouts, I'm gonna show the app right now, which is, here's the app, and then if you see, this is the layout we have. And then if I go on the design tab right here, this is all the layout for the app for the first screen, which is the only screen we have on this. As you can see, all the layouts here, and then I have the colors XML file. This is the color, and the build Gradle apps, and this is the main app. This is the main file, that is the Android manifest, which controls the XML file. Here's the string, which is for the mortgage calculator. Here's the main activity Java. We use the Java language for this to create all the buttons and everything that calculates. And if we go down here, we can see all the math that is being done by the app. This is the values, themes, everything. And this is the main one that it controls. Activity, and then if we, let's try to run it. If we run the app on our emulator, this is the design view, this is the code view. Just taking a little time to open the app. Well, in the meantime, let's talk about this. So this is all the plugins that we have for the app to be able to run. We can see right here we have all the packages. So we have packages, this is package name mortgage calculator, and this all the imports. These are the basically the standard libraries common to C++. Our app is running. It's just taking a little slow. And it says at the bottom right here, app successfully installed. Here we go. Alright, here is the user interface of our app. Let's just wait. And then if we do some use the taste cases, so let's input some amount. Let's say we have 200,000, and then annual rate we put as a 5%, and then long term let's put 15. Here you go. This is like real time calculation. All we have. So monthly payment will be $1,581.59. This is our total payments will be over 15 years, and this is how much the interest rate we have. Okay, similarly, let's do another test cases. Let's put 500,000. Instead of the 5, we put 10%, and then instead of the long term, we can put as a 30 years. Here you go. So total payment will be 1.57 million, and then almost a million will be an interest rate for 10%, which is a lot if you think about it. Let's do one more. Let's do 100,000 for 5%. For term, we can put as a 5-year. So this way, our monthly payment is 1,800. Total payment will be 113, and then interest rate is 13,000. A little over 13,000. Let's do one more use case for that. Let's just put 450,000 interest rate. Let's put 3%. That is more realistic. And then we put let's say 20 years on this. And in total interest, we will be paying almost 150,000. Almost 600K is our total payment will be, and then monthly payment for our housing cost will be a little less than 2,500. So this is our app user interface. It's pretty simple, just one page. Now I'm just gonna transfer to Melissa.
Thank you. Can you go to slide 5, please?
Okay.
So now we'll talk about our evaluation plan to make sure that our app runs smoothly, and in future months that it'll continue to run correctly. We have devised a 4-phase evaluation plan to help us complete this. So the first step will be calculation correctness, which is just to make sure that all the numbers are correct. That way, once our users start using this app, they don't come up with a wrong number, so they don't get the wrong idea of anything. Just to make sure that the monthly payment, their total payment, and the total interest that they'll pay looks correct, so they have an idea of how much money they need for their home. The second phase would be to make sure that the app is easy to use. We'll conduct our own heuristic evaluation to make sure everything looks simple, everything is efficient in the calculations, and then once we complete our own as a team, we'll go ahead and hand it off to some experts in the financial realm, so that way they can conduct their own evaluations. And then based on their feedback, we can of course go back and change anything as needed to make the app more efficient. And for the third phase, we can go ahead and measure the performance of our app, such as the average response time of the calculations. As we saw in the demo, the app itself, it is very fast. So we can test it whether we're in a busy network, if we're in a fast network, if we have some heavier numbers or smaller numbers, we can do test cases similar to the ones that were shown in the demo, just to make sure that the app is performing as it should be. And for the final phase of our evaluation, we can just evaluate the overall quality of our app. And for this, we can do usability testing with a select group of users, both users and experts. That way they can give us feedback and we can identify any improvements that need to be made, get their satisfaction using our app. And then from there, we can go on and improve it further. Can we go to slide 6, please? And here, as we mentioned, the design for our app, it is iterative. So once we finish the evaluation, we'll always continue to go back and improve it just based on the user feedback. We can also identify any potential problems I may have. While we did design the app to be simple for others to use, some people may say that it is too simple. So we can always go back and add some more features. Compared to the other mortgage calculators that are on the app, we can add some features like different terms of a loan. Instead of the conventional loan, users could pick an FHA or an VA loan if they're eligible for that. We can also include a timeline of how much they're looking to pay each month. For example, if their loan term is, say, 15 years, then we can have a breakdown of each year, how much interest they will be paying. That way they know exactly how much they need to save each time. We can also add some graphics as well. That way they can enhance the user experience. So that way users are able to see visually, okay, how much of my monthly payment is going towards, say, my actual payment, how much of it is insurance, how much of it is taxes. That way it'll be easier for the user, especially if they're somebody like a first-time home buyer, to know exactly what they're getting themselves into. Some of the other improvements that we could do in the future would be we could include some more information for our users, such as an explanation of some simple mortgage terms and the description of how their payments are being calculated. So we can include a description on how the monthly payment is calculated, the total payment, as well as the total interest is calculated, so they know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. And we could also add a feature on our app if we wanted to, just where it would be additional tips for home buyers. So we can consult financial experts and include something on there that would be helpful to them whenever they're looking at these numbers as well. And one of the last improvements that we could make as well is to integrate our app with other apps. So for example, there's plenty of other apps on the market where you can do home search and you can create an account and like homes that you want to go look at and potentially buy. So if we create our app to where it has our own user interface where you can make a username and password and then get the capability to integrate it with home search apps, then users can go in and then see which homes are their favorite ones and then do their own calculations with using our app based on the homes that they've liked on other apps. And that way it'll make the process more seamless for all these home buyers. And as a conclusion, we would like to thank Professor Hugh for giving us the opportunity to create this app, New Home Numbers. All three of us as a group, we have gained a lot of invaluable knowledge and skills when it comes to making an app, but not only that, learning the software, doing teamwork with others, and just the presentation as a whole. And we hope that our app can be useful for anyone that's looking to buy a home in the future. Thank you.